Hey there, it's Pete over at the Sampleist, and today we are checking out the ghoulishly disgusting but wonderful Hellen from Silence+Other Sounds. Hellen is all about ghostly voices and creatures, and Silence+Other Sounds have teamed up with vocalist Alessandra Cognetta to create this amazing library full of screams, whispers, growls, gasps, yells, some operatics and soprano performances. There are tonal performances, atonal vocal layers, animal recordings, and of course some metal friction and bowed effects that Silence+Other Sounds are so famous for. The instrument contains 12 Kontakt instruments, and it requires the full version of Kontakt 6.6.1 or better. The free Kontakt player is not supported on this occasion. Currently, Hellen is on sale for $49 or euros, and then after the intro price has passed, it will go up to $79 or euros, depending where you are. And I will point out at this moment that Silence+Other Sounds are in the middle of their summer sale, so do pop over and check out their other libraries. In this video, I'm going to do a quick overview of Hellen, check out the sounds and the controls and the different effects, and then I've thrown Hellen into a composition. And for this composition, I've used some other Silence+Other Sounds instruments, as I've used them for many, many years, and they really are wonderful to score with. So I'm going to have a really good time with this video, and I hope you do too. Let's check out the Hellen library. And here we have Hellen loaded up in complete control, and of course I'm using the extended Kontakt view so we can see not only the keyboard but also the presets. On the left hand side you can see the 12 instruments. We've got vocal textures, screams, demoniac, howls, laments, laughs, creatures, whispers, sentences, monster growls, shrieks, grasps and yells, syllables, sequencer, breath sequencer, vocalize builder, and breath loops. So lots to go through, lots to have fun with. Now the GUI is lovely. We've got the giant vocal morph in the middle, so that tells us we've got a morph between something. So we've got the layer 1 and layer 2. So before we get bogged down with the controls, let's just hear the library. So I've loaded up vocal textures and we've got Angelic Dark 1. It's beautiful. It's lovely. Now, you install the presets by unpacking a folder and putting it in your user contact data, so nice and easy. So these are just like the gorgeous sounds, and they do sound gorgeous. It is lovely. However, there are lots of different types of sounds. So we've got a cello lament. And you'll notice that I'm riding the mod wheel on purpose, but nothing is happening. You can drag between the two layers using the vocal morph, and you can just learn it. So I can put on CC1. And it's beautiful. Or you can just forget that and stick it on any other MIDI you want. So I'll put it on my naked board. I highly recommend naked boards. They're wonderful. So of course I can just fade it there as well. So nice and easy. Let's play a few more before we start looking at the instrument. We've got Devil Goat. Yeah, it's making some really cool noises. Fidelio. devil goat in there still. Lots and lots of presets. Ghost clusters. So of course you can adjust the attack if you want more of a smooth. Yeah, very, very cool. Let's do burning voice. I realised I just changed one of the layers, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Sibilance. Beautiful. And let's just go to Young Ghost. Newly became a ghost. I mean, it's very, very cool. So these are the vocal textures, and you got your typical controls on the left-hand side, so your attack, release, etc. And then you got your filters underneath. You got reverb controls as well. So yeah, really, really cool. Nice start. Let's look at some screams. There we go. Now, I'm just gone straight with the impulse responses. So here's some screams. So you get the idea, and yeah, these are great because you can control the sample any way you want to. So first of all, I went straight for the impulse responses, so you can just sort of play around. Which is great. I went a bit louder. So you're playing around with different reverbs, which is fine. Now, you can adjust the global volume, the pitch. You can have sample start as well. Lovely. And they got these global controls. So volume, attack. You just click on these and like you can reverse it. Very, really cool. Play around the filters. Lovely. And yeah, you can adjust the attack and the release just by sliding up and down there. So really, really simple controls, but I find normally I just play everything out of the box. So we've got some howls, laments and laughs. Let's play some of these. I mean, it's pretty evil. They've got some creatures. I'm convinced there's a 1996 modem in that sample. Oh, that's just, yeah, wonderful. And we've got whispers and sentences. So these are really, really fun. And again, dousing them in lots of different reverb is pretty cool. Well, I like it. So there we go. Monster growls. And then got some shrieks. Gasps and yells. I'm purposely not playing everything, by the way, because where's the fun? So you want to get the library and explore and find cool sounds. I imagine, out of context, the recording session for the samples over at the Silence+Other Sounds studios must have been absolutely horrific for anyone listening in. There we go. Then we've got the syllables sequencer. And if you use Omen, you'll be familiar with this. I'm not going to play too much with the different controls, but you can change the rhythms, the timing, and obviously the sample. The green key will just trigger the loop. And they can randomize it. And there's some delay effects going on. Beautiful. Yeah, it's wonderful. You can spend ages just tweaking, and of course it is tempo synced to your DAW. And the breath sequencer, sorry, just capture my own breath there, works in the same way. Amazing. And then you got the vocalize builder, which is 3 layers, or vocalize builder, sorry. Oops. And you can change the layers to whatever you want. I actually just deleted a layer, so. That sounded like me on the morning time, shall we say. I'm on holiday at the moment. I've got a lot of time off, which is wonderful. But yeah, I don't know. I quite like doing nothing at the moment. So yeah, I'm just talking rubbish. Let's carry on. Then we've got breath loops. Lovely. Again, all completely out of the box and ready to go in terms of processing. I mean, you can really feel the texture. Hellen just sounds like she needs a good sit down. Now that is everything to do with Hellen, the 12 instruments, a couple of controls, but you can see it's a very, very functional library, but the sounds contained within are incredible. And there is sometimes a problem when you start working with vocal textures. I was taught a very, very long time ago, sorry, not textures, but I was taught a long time ago not to have any sound effects that can detract from what's going on the screen. So for trailers, etc., screams are going to be amazing, and doing experimental music and all this kind of stuff, it's all going to work for video games. Yeah, I could think of so many applications, but what this library does really, really well, it doesn't have to be in your face and just constantly, you know, roaring at you, making horrible noises. It can be very, very subtle. It can be very, very rhythmic. It can be very sort of drone or texture based. there is so much to it. So yes, it is a vocal library, and there are some really, really disgusting sounds in here, but it's not just about those sounds, and that is the charm of Hellen. So what I've done, I've thrown it into a composition, and I got a bit carried away. I made a short video using some royalty-free video footage, and then added some of my favourite Silence and Other Sounds instruments. So let's have a listen, and then talk about what is Hellen like to compose with. Whenever I get the opportunity to compose with Silence and Other Sounds instruments, I know that I'm just going to have a really, really good time. And if you're really positive, you feel good about it because the instruments are awesome, you're going to create something pretty cool. So I took the opportunity for this Hellen demo to use some of my other favorite instruments, and I couldn't get them all in because I wanted to showcase Hellen, but yeah, I'll talk about those as we go through. But on the left hand side, you can see there are 8 instances of Hellen, and then we've got 3 instances of the Pain piano, Malventum horn pad, and then we have Zithergeist, just a simple loop from there, Relic sound design, which is one of the earlier libraries, Stringake. I used 2 risers. I used Stringake in everything. I remember when I was going to buy it, I was waiting every day for it to go on sale. It finally did. I bought it, and it's amazing. And that was about 5 years ago, and I still use it. Fantastic. They've got Mystery Box 1, which is the bowed experiments, and they've got Mystery Box 3, which is the clocks instrument. And there's some really, really tasty low-end booms. And of course, I've got the video at the bottom. So let's start off with Hellen, and I started off with an angelic pad. Okay, just gorgeous sounds. And then I thought, well, I want to make it a little bit more evil, so let's add some whispers. And I'm fairly generous with the reverb there, but later on I use some whispers with no reverb on, so it's just out of the box. And then underneath we've got Relic sound design. If you haven't picked up Relic, it's awesome. That's just one key, and I intersperse that with Malventum and piano bowed strings. So in context with Hellen, you get this amazing atmosphere. It is beautiful. Now, to add some rhythm I've got the clocks going on, and I love anything sort of ticky and timey. But I decided to fade these in using volume automation and also decrease the reverb as it goes. And there's a boom underneath. Then automate some reverb for the last tick. Now, a couple of other things going on. We've got the bowed experiments, and we've got a string ache riser. And I like keeping string ache quite dry because it's recorded very, very close. So together. Beautiful. And what better way to punctuate a crescendo with a Hellen gasp. Excellent. And we also have the sequencer at play here as well. So for solo this, I did use a Soundtoys plugin, Panman, and I took off the reverb as well. I quite enjoy playing with different reverbs. Turns out I didn't need it, but you'll hear in your headphones that this jumps around. And then combine that with a piano loop from Pain Piano. It creates a lovely effect. Now, I didn't actually play this yell from Hellen earlier. Horrific. Love it. Now. We're going to move on. Oh, Relic as well. Again, I use Relic so much. It's got some amazing one-shots. So, there's one there. And there's a kind of transition. So that section all together. Now for the next part, I really fancied a low sort of drone, and I had one with Malventum, but I want this all the way through till the end, so I've used Dark Mass. And you can see from the instrument, just go press stop on there, the layers there. So you got Burning Voice and you got Ghostly Texture number 3. It's Damned Voices actually is a preset I'm using. So there we go. Not Dark Mass, but there we go. And this is where I got creative with the video. Can't say video. We got this dude here who has a sled. Is it an axe or a sledgehammer? Anyway, I wanted to sync the vocals from Hellen with his mouth. So I just use these yells, and it's really good fun. There you go. So that's what I mean. You have a lot of fun with it all. And I use the vocalize builder here. back to the sequencer. And always a good time to throw in a bowed piano. And reintroduce our piano loop. So there's always some very, very cool things going on. And then to finish off, because we have our drone, I added an angelic vocal and then some whispers. So let's just play that. I'm going to put the video on as well. So this is like the television bit. And then automated a very simple fade out. There we go. Only because I'm using lots of reverbs. Now you get the idea. Lots and lots of different instruments being used. I didn't mention the Zithergeist loop. Lovely instrument. Again, that was just one key. So when all this sort of jumps in, all this different sound design, yeah, it just sounds amazing. So this is, everything is Silence and Other Sounds. And this is why I love Hellen, is because we had like Omen. I've not used Omen purposely because the male voices are amazing. However, I didn't want any other voices to kind of cloud Hellen or get anyone confused. So all the voices is Hellen. But there are male voices, and now we have like horrific female voices that can be angelic, they can be drony sound designs, they can be rhythmical. It's such a clever library, and it's a great addition when you look at everything that Silence and Other Sounds have created. So I've always said I'm a huge developer, even not a huge developer, I don't develop. Sorry, that got very existential just then. I'm a huge fan of Silence and Other Sounds. And even before I started making videos 3 years ago or whatever, I was buying these instruments. And yeah, they are incredible. What are my closing thoughts about Hellen? Well, this is it. I always use the term, the proof is in the pudding. And for years and years and years, I've been scoring with Silence and Other Sounds libraries. And Hellen is just going to be a great addition to that scoring toolkit. Having female vocals that can produce really, really dark, evil sounds to angelic, gorgeous, ethereal sounds. It's brilliant. But again, it's how the library has been created and thought out. So you have a proper toolkit. You have parameters you can control, effects. You have the morph dial in the middle, so you can sort of go between the two layers. It's just a really, really clever library. And like I say, you're going to use it time and time again. If I need dark female vocals, which are a slightly bit evil, Hellen is where I'm going. But for years, if I've needed anything sounding horrific, Silence and Other Sounds is always my first starting point. And then yes, I might add other instruments, which is great because they complement them. But the sound design is so strong and so usable, and it's ready to go out the box, so you don't need to do a huge amount of sort of processing or faffing. It's just brilliant. So do I recommend Hellen? Yes. Do I recommend popping over to Silence and Other Sounds and checking out their sale, which is going on right now? Of course I do. Pick up whatever you can, because no matter what you get, it's just going to be fantastic. All that leads me to say is thank you once again to Silence and Other Sounds for sending over a copy of Hellen so I could make this video. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave a like on the video and drop us a comment. What do you like about Hellen? What would you use Hellen for? If you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel. We are now skyrocketing with the amount of content we're producing, which is amazing, and only happens from the support of our viewers and of course the amazing developers we work with. If you've not done so already, please check out our other videos on YouTube, then head over to thesamplist.com to see what's going on in the world of sample libraries. Been saying it for weeks, but I've got quite a lengthy holiday, so I'm going to update the website finally very soon. Where hey. Until next time, have a great day. Keep making that amazing music, or in the case of Hellen, make that disgustingly wonderful music. Until next time, take care.